I want this chance to show you that your God in karate is so much nonsense. And that's quite easy to do. I know Kung Fu.
Show me.
Dude, how bitch is it to take like to laugh at a joke and then see your wife who predatorily fucked some 22-year-old kid that she had gotten help to get in rehab.
Oh, it's not her fault. Her son brought him over to play video games.
Dude, I mean,
that was literally her fucking excuse. It's not my fault. My son brought him over.
Yeah, everything about both those people is so fucking toxic. I don't even know where to begin. Like, they might be the worst of, because Will Smith is fake as fuck. Like let's just be real.
Oh, 100%.
Since he was on Fresh Prince, like people have known that he's just like all ego and completely fake and like half gay and whatever. And that, you know, do your thing. That, I guess that's, you know, be you. But like, also learn to fucking slap someone correctly, because you outweigh Chris Rock by 100 pounds. He should be waking up now. He's the king of cucks.
Is he though?
Is he though?
I mean, his wife's going around fucking younger dudes right in front of him.
And then bringing it up.
How many we know about? We just know about one though.
And then bringing it up on her fucking little tabletop shit, trying to make money off of it.
Well,
like,
did he bring it up? Because I think Will Smith gets a bad deal. I ain't saying he wasn't wrong for going to the slapping shit out Chris Rock, even though it's funny as hell. I think what people are clowning him because
he's a bitch and can't control his woman
for the street.
Though it was funny that he walked up on the stage and slapped a grown-ass man and then strutted back across the stage like he did something just to appease his master. This is my thing. To me, it would have been more impactful if he had gotten up out of his chair and walked to the back and smacked the fuck out of whoever wrote that joke, because people tend to forget Chris Rock is reading a teleprompter.
Exactly.
It's not even that funny of a joke.
Right, it's not that mean, it's not
like
that funny.
You're looking forward to seeing G.I. Jane 2.
There's nothing negative about that.
Which makes me question if he even took the time to write that fucking joke or even come up with that corny shit. Because that sounds like some of that.
That's not Chris Rock.
And on top of that, anyone that knows anything about the Oscars or the Grammys, you're told beforehand, if you sit up in the front, you are going to be subject to the comedians. So for me, it would have been more impactful if he, quote unquote, truly was about that life. Why don't you walk backstage and put your hands on Simon and Michael and Dennis, who came up with that joke, smack the shit out of them, but instead, he took the safe route. He went up on the stage and smacked a nigga that was clearly not going to hit him back. I bet you if it was Mike Tyson presenting that award or reading off that teleprompter, I bet he wouldn't have walked up there.
Not even Mike Tyson. Jason Momoa.
Guarantee he wouldn't have walked up there.
Anyone? Yeah.
I bet if DJ Jazzy Jeff was up there, he wouldn't even have walked up there.
So my take is I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist.
Okay.
You know, just a little bit. So, I don't think the slap was for Chris himself. I think the slap was symbolic of him slapping like the Oscars, saying, "Hey, you're not gonna do this to us." The joke was, Chris Rock tried to clean it up. Felt like he tried to clean it up where he said, you know, that was a light one. It's not meant. It's a G.I. Jane joke. because of the movie shit. I think he tried to clean it up, and I think the slap was meant for it was symbolic, saying, "Okay, I'm gonna slap the Oscars and the people who did it," because of the when Jada didn't get invited to the Oscars that time, and she was gonna boycott, and she came to the Oscars anyway with Will and so forth and so on. So yeah, it's just my belief in the whole situation. Would he have slapped anybody else?
Hell no.
I don't know. Don't matter. But I will say this: New York, Brooklyn, 0. Philadelphia, 1. Let's go.
I hear what you're saying in regards to the conspiracy theory aspect of that, but here's my thing. If you really want to slap back at the Oscars, then don't accept the award.
Yeah.
That would have been a lot more impactful if he'd have just sat there, his name gets called, and he was like, nah.
I mean, again, for me being the conspiracy theorist that I am, I think that it was a lot more to that than that. 'Cause it was a lot going on that night. People don't know that there was Jay-Z and some other people had a anti-Oscar party. I think there was an anti-Oscar party by Jay-Z and to be honest, I don't think that there's a lot of black people that watch the fucking Oscars anyway.
Right.
But I think this is a way to kind of get some people in because we love drama.
That was my first thought. That this whole thing was just orchestrated because the Oscars. No one gives a shit.
No.
Like Hollywood is losing. I don't mean streaming services. I mean like Hollywood and movies and movie stars are losing because all of their viewership is going to streaming series.
Yeah.
With really good writers, and it doesn't fucking matter who the actors are as long as they're decent actors, because the stories are so good.
Like that shit, it don't count for us. Like the people that watch that shit, we don't have a vote. Oh,
They omitted Bob Saget from the fucking memorial shit. How?
What?
He wasn't mentioned. From the deaths of 2022, Bob Saget was omitted. He was not included.
But he's got the greatest line in cinema history.
He sucked dick for coke.
I have.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. Greatest line.
The greatest. You might be onto something, Justice. I'll give you that. You might be onto something. Because you're right. We typically don't watch the Oscars. That's not our thing. It's not.
but you think
but
we're not gonna
now,
tune in next year?
It's nobody's thing now.
Oh, next year they're gonna invite
think we not-
they're gonna invite nothing but niggas.
It's gonna be
Ain't gonna be a single white face
Oscar
in the
night.
crowd.
Gonna be like, oh, you remember last year he smacked shit out Chris Rock? Some shit might happen this year.
One more time for the people at home.
Will Smith's a cock.
Oh, good
I
time.
mean, because she slept with August Alsina. I mean,
No,
you know
it's
what?
actually because he is like he decides to stay with such a manipulative, unstable, just toxic person.
I mean,
and-
it's been like that. The only reason we know
Oh, I know.
because August Alsina was so damn pussy whipped that he decided that he wanted to go out and say, "Hey, this married 55-year-old woman put it on me better than any of these young girls have, and I love her. And you can't love the hoes. Hoes are for everybody.
They're for forever.
So she's married, so you have to take her.
Never
and
make
leave.
a hoe a housewife.
Yeah. Well, she again. Also, there's hoes, and then there's actresses. So that's another layer. And then there's aging actresses, and that's another layer. And then there's like she just personally seems like the type who can't have anyone around them shining brighter than her, and yet she latches on to one of the biggest stars in the world, and now she's feeling like she's not getting enough attention. Like, I don't think she can stand the fact that like he's so successful compared to her.
What's the last movie she was in that was good?
Menace to Society.
Wow.
She was in the
Huh?
Matrix.
Yeah, I said that was good.
She was in the Matrix, sir.
Oh, that's right. She was.
No,
in,
she was in The Matrix Reloaded. That movie sucked
Re-
ass.
Facts.
No, it didn't.
It's not,
Bro.
sir. What the hell has she been in that was good? Shit.
Yeah, she ain't shit.
She was in Woo. Yeah, Woo. You remember Woo?
What?
She was in Woo.
Dude.
Yeah. She was in Nutty Professor. Yeah. She was in Set It Off. She was the
She's
voice
amazing.
in Madagascar too.
She was a voice. What a great fucking lead in. That just makes my entire day. Well, fuck it. Let's go ahead and get started. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to another exciting edition of H8O Presents the Fist Fights and Fried Rice podcast. I am your host, Tazz, and brought with me, as always, an eclectic group of assholes to fill your ears with that sweet, sweet vernacular you had no idea that you were truly fucking lacking in your life. Up first, a man that truly needs no introduction. Rolling 15 inches deep, knocking out the knees, the destroyer of all things females, the ovary crusher himself, the Dirk Diggler of the H8L. We proudly bring to you Lobo.
I was born ready.
And of course, no podcast is ever truly, truly complete without my hetero life mate. He had me at my hello. He is my spirit animal. The other side of the quarter, cool as the other side of the pillow, bring to you a one UTBABYA.
Will Smith don't gotta cuss in his raps to sell records, but he does have to cuss after you make a joke about his cuckolding wife.
And also brought with us the connoisseur of all things combat, the maestro of martial arts. One would even go so far as to say the Rain Man of martial arts, the encyclopedia of all techniques known to man, the self-appointed, newly recognized, though he's been keeping it on, the black man, a one, Justice Magnificent. Yeah, you know, just fucking rip.
Just representing the shit, yeah. It's too black. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, so gentlemen, we are talking 52 hand block. Now, before we dig too deep into this, is there anyone on here that didn't know anything about 52 hand blocks before we even get started?
I was very, very vaguely familiar, but not. I mean, I basically just was like, oh, it's a thing that dudes like came up with in prison to not get fucking killed or some shit.
Or raped. I understand. Okay, I feel that.
Yeah. More importantly, that one.
There you go. Yeah, you know, asshole protection. I feel you.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, yeah. That was my extent to my knowledge as well.
I can see that we're going to have some very hot takes in regards to this. I personally didn't know much about the style. I've heard conflicting things over the years. Me personally, I have never stepped foot in or walked into or trained under anyone who is certified or belted or whatnot in regards to 52 hand blocks. The majority of which that I know about the art is all either from hearsay, what I've seen on television, what I've read in books, or in magazines. Throwing that out there because I might say ignorant shit throughout the...
Oh, me too.
Yeah. So Justice, as always, the foremost expert in regards to all things martial arts. Would you be so kind as to give us a quick overview of the system and or self-defense style? We'll put whatever title in as the show goes on. 52 hand blocks.
52 hand blocks. Is style of fighting? Well, yeah, we'll say style for right now.
Okay.
The style of fighting known to the inner city, pretty much, known among urban.
Yes. Been waiting for it.
Not known amongst its name came from the boroughs in New York. To be honest, I mean there are other recognized forms or styles of it regionally, but more or less what we hear about, what we see, it comes from New York.
You didn't sound very happy to
Brooklyn.
say that.
No, he didn't.
There was a little pause and a little hesitation. You're like, yeah, it's the fighting.
Yeah, because I was thinking about something else.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, I was thinking about it. But yeah, style of fighting, mainly known throughout Brooklyn, some forms in Queens, but again, mainly what we hear about is recognized more in New York. Now, to some disbelief, and you know, opposition of other people's thoughts about where it comes from, it did not originate in prison.
What?
Yes.
Well, Justice, where did it originate?
It's like when we talked about catch wrestling. It really has no roots, pretty much.
Like no clear
Yeah, no clear understand because when you look at it, there are different forms. We know 52 hand blocks, but if you go down south and we're in the south anyway. But if you go like to parts of Georgia and Atlanta, um, you're gonna hear about stato fists. You go upstate New York, you're gonna hear about Comstock style. If you go out west, you're gonna hear something different as well. So again, but if you ask where it started at, where it comes from, everybody's gonna say one thing, and it's gonna all go back to somewhere in the 50s and 60s, blah blah blah, and it just gets murky and muddy from that point on.
Very good explanation, sir. I deeply appreciate that. Now, from what you have seen or what you have researched in your studies, would you call it an effective system or style? From what you've seen,
Eh, As far as what? Style, as far as fighting, street fighting, self defense, combat sports.
I would say in terms of preventing penetration, but I guess in terms of my bad. I guess in terms of fighting and self defense.
From what I've seen, and it will work to the untrained fighter. I don't
Okay.
know if it will work on a trained fighter, to be honest. Somebody who has experience in some type of martial art, combat sports, or even just experience self defense, like true, not bullshit self defense, what Lobo hates, but real self defense shit. Like,
I'm so glad
like,
somebody else clarified for me.
Let go of my purse.
52 hand blocks, nigga.
like, I mean, like a real boxer would probably give someone just a 52 hand blocks some issues.
Okay.
Now,
The work is what they would get.
I like that.
Now let
I'm
me
not
ask you
gonna say
this.
work. It depends. Now that's gonna depend. That also depends as well because you got a couple different people that recognize that people recognize. You know the faces right now that are teaching. And everybody teach different. One I'm more familiar with, what the 52 blocks of like Light Burley. He systemized 52 blocks in a way that it could be applied to combat sports the way it could work. No knock on the other guys. The other guys don't have as much experience doing that as he does. Like I like Mr. 52. I like some of those other guys, but guys ain't had experience checking kicks. Going up against people doing different styles of combat. Slapping people in the face and twirling around is not 2 blocks for for what people think it is. Like it's not just that.
So, what do you think that this false narrative that 52 hand blocks was developed in quote unquote urban prisons?
White people.
You say black people? Okay,
White people.
cool. Okay.
All right, me. White people. No, I said white people.
Oh, okay, white people. Okay.
White people. White people.
Lobo, your thoughts on that, sir?
People also have oh, I forgot you. No, I mean, because when you talk about it, I think me and Lobo had this conversation the other day as well. There's a distinction as well because you do have jailhouse boxing, or what people call jailhouse rocks,
Yep.
which is
That's just what I knew it growing up because of some people I knew that had been in and out of prison.
again, that's not 52 hand blocks. I'm sorry, y'all.
Was it because the Aryan Nation was doing it behind bars, or
I mean,
Bikers.
yeah, and plus you gotta look at where it comes from. You gotta look at how it's used. 52 hand blocks, Shadow Fist, Comstock style. The other 52 are flashy. House Rocks is straight to the point. Straight to the point.
I will definitely agree
So,
with you on that one because from what I was researching for this topic, because I too was looking at Jailhouse Rock and 52 hand blocks as one and the same, and which apparently is a popular misconception. But when I was doing my research, I was noticing Jailhouse Rock was like you said, it's just straight to the fucking point. Just get a motherfucker down and bash their fucking brains out. While 52 hand blocks are a little more flash, a little more pizzazz, especially when it comes to like the block encounters and shit like that. It was definitely more flashy and more showy than that of Jailhouse Rock.
and that's the other part. Use a little bit of logic here. fighting in prison, I don't think spinning around, turning, doing spinning elbows and slapping your hands together is gonna stop you from getting shanked. If we on the corner of somewhere in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, and people surrounded us, and we on the street, and we say, you know what, you got a problem, I got a problem. Go ahead and let's do the thing. Let's go. You got time. You got time to show people up.
Street fights that you've been witnessing. Okay, all right.
All right. No, I ain't never even been. Well, I have been to Brooklyn, but no, I ain't never witnessed. But I'm just saying. I'm just saying you wouldn't have time in prison to be trying to do all this crazy stuff. Like it's not going to last that long.
So you pretty much wouldn't really recommend 52 hand blocks for all the booty warriors in prison.
I mean, I'm sure there's some way to defend yourself. I don't know if any. Listen, if you are 5'4", there's a guy named let's just say we'll call him Mr Pickles. Mr Pickles, who's 6'5" and about 250 and been doing push-ups every day. Unless you got a shank, he's gonna take your booty, sir.
Mr. Pickles is the best name.
That's the word of the day right there, folks. Mr. Pickles.
He is going to take your. He's going to take it. It's not going to help you. It's not much. Is going to help you. Okay. Need a shank. You need a weapon.
I recommend a lock and a sock.
There you go.
I'm talking about that today.
That is more jailhouse.
But lock and a sock will work.
It will. That's more jailhouse rock.
Now I was saying that it is some mythical things, that people say.
Oh, there's
also with it coming from New York. We just were talking about people from New York like to talk shit and the exaggeration that they have when storytelling. Yo, son, yeah, da 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 da. But listen, B, yeah, and then you know what happened. Then after that, then I'm like, nah, I don't hear that shit. That shit don't sound right.
I love that. I love that. That was amazing.
You lost me at Yo B.
This is gonna probably piss a lot of people off, and I ain't trying to upset notes, but I kind of looked at 52 hand blocks a lot like I look at Krav Maga.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like not trying to shit on Krav, even though I do quite a bit, because Krav is also one of those arts that has these mythological. But the more I research it and look it up, it's like a lot of punch, kick him in the dick kind of shit. I kind of felt the same way when I was looking into 52 hand blocks, which brought me to the attention of both these gentlemen by the name of Dennis Newsom and Professor Mo. Dennis Newsom was the fight choreographer for Mel Gibson for Lethal Weapon, which shocked me when I found out that he was apparently trained in 52 hand blocks for the role in Lethal Weapon. And both Lobo and Justice were kind enough to remind me of the scenes he was utilizing 52 hand blocks, because I was ready to call bullshit on that. Still kind of, they made some...
Well, it's not like he solely uses 52 in the movie. It's mostly karate.
Yep.
And Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
I would have said more judo than Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
You know what? That's fair. So, Justice, you want to remind us on what scenes in Lethal Weapon Mel Gibson was utilizing 52 hand blocks?
The more famous scene is probably the last scene where he's fighting in the rain against Gary Daniels.
Gary Busey, sir.
Busey, one of them, yeah. Yeah, him. That guy. Always plays the bad guy. Him. So there's a scene before that. I think right before he's tripped to the ground, and Busey trips Mel Gibson to the ground. Mel Gibson jumps back up. He kind of starts circling to his right, or be to our left, and he started doing some shapes, a little 52 in there. Proceeded to attack from that point.
Now, for those who don't know, sir, what is a shape?
Some people refer to them as shapes. But these are the blocks. They tend to sometimes they make shapes with your hands and stuff. You like triangle trade is one. Skull and crossbones, things like that. You tend to make shapes between your fist, your palm, and your elbow a lot of times. So sometimes they refer to as shapes.
In Krav, they refer, death pose.
Do they really?
No, I'm making that shit up. I don't fucking know.
I was about to say, it sounds believable based on some of the crowd guys I've met.
Bro, they're elite. Don't even start.
So are they Israeli? That's Israeli, Israeli, right?
So elite.
Krav is, yes. Now, I did do a little more research in regards to Professor Mo, and probably out of everyone that I looked up, which wasn't a lot, he he kind of stuck out the most to me, and primarily because he had a couple articles in Black Belt magazine. We all know that I completely just dick ride Black Belt magazine, so if you're in Black Belt magazine, I consider you the end all be all of whatever it is that you're preaching. Because why else would you be? But
George Tillman.
You shut your mouth, sir. But
Frank Woods.
But some of the things that he was talking about that I did truly respect that he was like in regards to why it all looks differently from person to person, system to system, and it was like you had stated earlier on, Justice, that a lot of it depends upon the geographical location. Up north's going to look different than the south's going to look different than the west different than the east. So I dug that because that was one of the things that I did find kind of questionable. It was why all these different, I don't want to say offshoots or variants, but why 52 hand blocks looks so much different from person to person. I don't know if that's something that I would pay money to go train in. I would question a 52 hand block school. I would question it the same way that I question a Krav Maga school.
What?
I mean, as you should.
Yeah.
Given your experience, yeah. I mean, I would too. But if you had no experience.
If I had no experience and I saw 52 hand blocks, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm going to think that was some straight up Negro Kung Fu. I'm going to be completely honest. I would look at that and be like, wow. Because a lot of the techniques look very Kung Fu, Wing Chun kind of based.
What?
If you look at a lot of it and then turn right around and look at a Wing Chun video, a lot of the traps, a lot of the block encounters look real similar.
The shape.
There's actually a pretty interesting video of 52 versus Wing Chun I found.
Were you looking at the one with Dominic Izzo?
Probably.
Yeah, Dominic Izzo, the guy from Chicago. You should follow him. He's a pretty dope guy. White guy too. Cool.
I know you want the white guy.
He broke it down because he does Wing Chun. He really did. He did a good job, I thought, of showing the differences of how it's not the same. It's not similar at all. I thought. Again, perception is to each his own.
It was so noticeably different that somebody had to make a.
I mean, he's a Wing Chun guy.
I mean, it's like putting a lion and a tiger next to each other. I mean, they're both lions.
Well, I mean, no,
they're not.
they're both cats. I mean, but I don't know what they.
I was just saying, like some of the hand placements, a lot of the blocking looked kind of similar. Not all of it. I'm just saying a lot of it looked kind of similar to me. And again, this is if I didn't know any better. If I didn't know any better, they would look like some.
I get. Yeah, that's cool.
It's like the same way I look at Krav as aggressive women.
Wow.
Like I know that's not a very fair comparison, and again, I'm basing this just solely off of just upon first glance. Don't get me wrong, I find 52 hand blocks to be cool as shit. I love the name 52 hand blocks. Again, but I question if that would be something that I would walk into a dojo. But I guess again, it would just depend on who's this cat Professor Mo that I was looking up. He would sell me on it. Or hell, even the dude that you were talking up that broke down the differences as to why it's not Wing Chun, which I still find pretty funny that my one art is not the other.
Training with Light Burley, and Light Burley does 52. They was doing the comparison. Because you got people like but you got some people out there that kind of want to compare and contrast Wing Chun to 52 or even Filipino Japan martial arts.
I struggled to find some relatable forms of entertainment that we could all partake in or share in regards to 52 hand blocks, and it reminded me of a discussion that we had in regards to some fighting games, which we did do another fighting game episode. And I remembered, because Justice brought it up, that in the game Def Jam Fight for New York, 52 hand blocks is an optional style. Now, outside of myself and Justice, Lobo or UTBABYA, you guys ever had a chance to play either a Def Jam Fight for New York or a Def Jam Vendetta?
Yeah, I did not.
That's funny. Missing out on a true classic, sir. A true classic.
I have heard, yeah.
Those are like the only two games from the PS2 that I would love for those games to be. What's the term you kids use for transferring games from one system to the next? What do they call that shit, Lobo? Porting or transferring?
Yeah, porting.
Porting. Yeah.
You're just taking an old game and putting it in a new system.
Yeah, that shit.
Oh, you talking about backwards compatibility?
That too.
The fuck is that?
Either that or cross-platform porting.
No, that's
Porting,
different.
No, yeah, porting is
The
a
fuck are these terms?
term. I think porting is different. Yeah, that's
Okay. Well, fuck. What is backwards compatibility?
meaning you can take that same disc and put it into a newer version of like a PlayStation, and it'll play it. So PlayStation 2 with it using like Blu-ray discs, if they made it compatible to the PS5, that would be backwards compatibility.
Yeah, so backwards compatibility. Yeah, so they designed the PS5 so that it can also take PS4 games.
Did they make the PS5 where you can play PS2 games?
I don't think so.
I don't know how
There's
far back
a
it goes.
subscription service you can get that you can do that on.
Wow, they're gonna make you pay for it, huh? Yeah, usually they only go back like one, maybe two generations. But
I just got all three of the original Grand Theft Autos the other day.
oh wow,
Wow.
Like San Andreas, Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City.
On PS5?
Oh,
See,
shit.
now those
All
were
right, well,
those are illegal games. No, I'm stop.
No, it's from their sir. It's from their online library of games.
there's an online library for games.
Yeah, you don't have to buy the disc anymore.
Yeah, you download straight from the internet. Wow,
God damn it. I
Tazz.
fucking hate that.
The day you have
God damn
children
it,
are gonna
man.
drive you crazy.
Fuck.
Once you have children, they're gonna drive you up the wall when they start asking about game systems, so forth and so forth.
So what's the point of the fucking disc then if you don't need it? I'm dead ass. Like, what's the point of the disc?
That actually is a good question.
So some people don't like the disc. They want to just go to the internet. They don't want to go deal with GameStop, Walmart, whomever. They just want download straight to their system. That's why they getting like the 1 terabyte drives and stuff like that for the Xbox Ones and PS5.
yeah. So if you don't want a disc, then you got to get a much more storage and memory, and so you got to buy you either buy a disc or you buy more a bigger storage capacity and memory.
And you can buy it outside. You can buy portable ones that hook up into your PlayStation or Xbox.
Yeah, but it's basically pick your poison, right? So there's a ton of data that comes on one of the discs, so you can either do that or you can buy more storage for your system.
It's for you dumbass parents to spend more money.
Fuck that. Let the kids play outside.
Facts.
Fuck them kids.
Shit, so they can go outside and be like, I'm tired.
It's boring. There's nothing to do.
Right, walk around until you get some endurance.
Go do drugs.
Mom, I want my phone back.
Just
Go
fucking
do
just
drugs.
go fucking do drugs. So I have a reason to truly parent you.
Uh,
That was
Jesus Christ.
man.
Get that out.
These last 3 minutes have been the most confusing shit I have heard all fucking day. I'm staring at my PS3 right now, and I'm like, will Def Jam play in this?
It will, but
You could probably get a PS3 disc of Def Jam.
how? Yeah, you ready to spend
They
a few
ported
$100?
some of the games over to PS3 just like they do to PS4 and PS5.
Well, they not porting anything from PS1 legally from PS1, 2, and 3. I mean, they got a certain select few games, but that Def Jam is not one of them. It hasn't been on the list at all.
There's lists for this.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like the most popular games of all time.
You know, I was so proud of myself because what porting was. And then you guys came in and completely shit on my picnic.
mhm.
Started about cross porting and multi don't even know what the fuck else you guys said. Terabyte data shit. Fuck you guys. And this is why I'm going to tell my kids to go outside and do drugs. Because this conversation would have got my child beaten.
Wow.
He would have been he or she would have been grounded and beaten. Maybe not even in that order.
Because you're confused.
Yes, you use fucking terms that I understand. You say shit like
Now you're saying a lot of big words, and I don't understand them.
Yeah.
So I'm
You
gonna
stay
take
in
them
a child's place and use children's language. Damn
yeah,
it.
you say shit like memory card. I know that shit.
You don't even know what that is.
I remember the
I
memory
don't-
card.
Like I don't know the words you're saying, so I'm going to take them as disrespect.
I don't know what you're saying, but you disrespecting your elders right now.
I'm like, oh,
That's
I see. We're gonna have an Oscars 2022 moment. What's that, Daddy? Dad just smacked the shit out of me. So anyway, fuck you guys for ruining my entire evening. Yeah. So Def Jam Fight for New York and Def Jam Vendetta, they feature, I guess you can call them recording artists from the Def Jam label that were put in a fighting game where 52 hand blocks was a style that you can. Now I'm trying to remember because it's been years since I played the game. Correct me if I'm wrong, Justice. Is that the style you start off with, or is that one that you can just pick?
I can answer that.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
When you first start out the game, it gives you a selection of which style you want to start with.
Okay, so 52 hand blocks was a choosable style.
Yeah, and then you can later on in the game choose to add more styles to it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was just like street fighting when you first started on. It didn't say 52 hand blocks. When you looked at it, it was like, okay. Like, especially when you ran up against people like Fat Joe. If you played the game and you know what Fat Joe was doing to you, I don't give a damn who you are. If you say anything different, I know you telling a damn lie. Fat Joe whooped your ass at least 15 or 20 times before you beat him.
Facts.
And Ludacris hit you with them damn elbows.
Throw them bows.
Glad you said that because you know that reminds me. Now, when you talk about style of 52 in Atlanta, that's one of the reasons their infatuation with elbows and knees throughout the music, and you heard throughout, like, when you know people from Atlanta's always, man, I drop bows on you, shorty, and different stuff like that. The infatuation with elbows and knees actually goes back to that, and people will get into street fight. So that Formula 52, where people they were using a lot of knees and elbows to fight people.
I don't remember hearing knees in any songs though, unless it's like, girl, put your hands on your knees. But
No, but I'm just.
Wobble wobble. Yeah, okay, I got you.
yeah.
Stomp them in the nuts. Stomp them in the nuts.
Wait, what?
Remember that song?
It's from Boondocks.
Is that like a deep cut off of Bone Crusher's album?
No, that's Boondocks.
This was Boondocks.
Oh, okay.
You know, if y'all hadn't said anything, we could have convinced UTBABYA that was a real song.
No. I mean, it's way too much.
Ah, good times. Fuck yeah. Excellent. Lobo, sir. It's about that time, sir.
And now, our feature presentation.
So substitution. We're gonna need a substitution because something happened to the link in the chat, and I don't know what. But I didn't do anything. I recorded everything. I put it up there, and then Lobo texted me early today. And he was like, "Hey man, I can't see the movie." So I went back to do a check, and I was like, "Okay, blocked out of my account for some reason." Oh,
I mean, I wouldn't judge you.
no point.
No shame.
You don't have to judge me. That I created that account just to do with that. Look, just for that one thing.
Just for that one flick.
Yeah, this movie is surprisingly hard to find.
Dude, I could not find this fucking movie anywhere. Dude, there's no reviews.
Cause it's gonna be one of those movies we look back at like 20 years. You're gonna be like, "Oh, this existed." Yes, it did.
Yeah.
This
is.
was
This movie has been lost to time. It's only been like a few years.
Lost in time.
Well, it came out in 2014, and you can't find it anywhere.
Anywhere.
Is it because is it that bad?
Justice is going to defend it.
Oh, okay.
You damn right, because it's good. You know what? Let's
Well-
just go ahead. Let's go
Wait.
ahead. Let's go.
Are we doing
Hold
this?
on.
I feel
Because-
like we're doing this.
I just have one question. I
Yes.
just have one question. If I had watched this movie, would I have seen even more prison rape?
No.
Damn.
Okay.
No.
Okay, good.
There is no
Because-
prison rape.
You've had your fair
Okay.
share of prison rape.
That's their first.
From
That's the
the
first movie
movies that you've had us
about
watch,
prison. Did
yeah.
not feature prison rape.
The last handful, there were no prison rape. There was just
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Okay. Listen to yourself say that.
Those horrible
and then
boob
tell me
jobs.
what's wrong with that.
those horrible
The
boob jobs.
last handful.
The last handful.
Only the last handful.
We've only been
Which
doing this
means
show
the
for like a year and a
previous
half.
handful were full of prison rape.
Hey, when we do the festies, are we gonna have a Little Billy award?
Huh? What? I missed. Whoa! Wait, what?
Festies, we're gonna have a Little Billy award.
Oh, dude. Okay,
Man.
I'm glad you. Wow.
Oh, poor little Billy.
Oh man, you gotta cut that.
Oh no, that's staying. That is classic.
Oh,
Oh, man.
In the Little Billies Fisty Award.
That guy from Blood Fist 3 at the beginning.
You know, I don't feel so bad because I went back to try to watch this film too, and when I went back to the chat, all I saw was a picture of poo, a poo emoji, and I was like, oh, they're saying that this movie is shit. Okay, all right.
hey, IMDb gave it a 6.6.
What did
I
Rotten
mean,
Tomatoes?
they're not fish fights and fried rice.
They're not.
They're okay. They're okay. Not as reputable as us.
What did Rotten Tomatoes? give it?
Definitely not.
Rotten Tomatoes gave it a solid nothing.
It's not on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's how you know it's good.
Rotten Tomatoes reviews everything.
You know what? I mean,
I'm so glad I didn't watch this.
it really
now,
doesn't have
to
a
be
score.
fair, from what parts of the movie that I did see, I will say, in terms of the fight scenes, probably one of the best depictions of 52 hand blocks I've seen on film.
Yeah, the fight scenes look great in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
There was one scene that I did get to see, and it was because somebody had it on YouTube, and it was part of the fight scene in the elevator. And man, I'll be the first one to admit it was interesting to see the different traps, the different counters, even some of the groundwork that was displayed. I was pretty impressed with what I saw, and if that was a true indication of what 52 hand blocks is, I could see that being a vital, not vital, but I could see that being a viable, thank you, a viable form of self-defense.
My opinion,
By all means.
that's the West Coast. That's the West Coast version. That's not what we will see on the East Coast. But to each his own.
Really? What if you don't mind me asking, what separates the two?
The guy from Diallo Frazier, he's from the West Coast, and I think he's from like the southern west, southwest, and that form of 52 is it's a lot different from what we used to seeing. A lot different.
Okay.
What are the main?
I go as far as to say when you look at 52 from East Coast, especially New York, it is boxing based to a degree.
Okay.
It's there's a lot of hands and a lot of boxing, a lot of moving, a lot of misdirection with the hands because you want to hit somebody and not get hit and make them look bad. Versus this is kind of in your face, bam bam, spin around, take you down, whatever it is.
That looked dope as fuck.
Yeah, it is. If Ludacris wasn't so light skinned in the Fast and Furious, his scenes would have been okay, but it's just the fact that he's light skinned and it's kind of like, hey,
Huh?
it's Ludacris. No, I'm just talking shit.
Oh, I was like, okay.
Just talking shit. Getting people hard time.
The
His
pigment.
scene was dope in Fast and Furious, but it's Ludacris. You can't take him serious. Lorenz Tate, on the other hand, he's a real actor. I mean, he's a really good actor. Even though Tazz might not like him.
Because he looks like a 14-year-old boy.
Yes, he is a vampire. Just like Pharrell and a couple other people. He don't age.
He does
It's
not,
cool.
and it freaks me out.
How old is this guy?
Shit, 50.
Yeah, he's gotta
Wait,
be.
what?
He's in his 50s, but looks like a fucking little boy.
I thought he was 30.
It's just
Hell no.
creepy.
Like 30 at the latest.
So Lorenz Tate is 46. Yeah, got all his damn hair and shit. That dude pushing 50, man. Like, come on, bro.
So, before we change the movie over, did anybody watch the other movie that was in the chat? A little Blood and Bone?
I started to.
Wait, man, I don't. Y'all have never seen these movies before?
I've seen Blood and Bone before.
Yeah, I've seen Blood and Bone.
I might have seen part of it before.
You know what? You damn Americans, all you do is watch TV and rot your damn brains.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Damn. What's wrong with y'all?
I have issues with
I
Michael
keep
J.
going.
White movies.
Oh. Let's hear this.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Oh, it's just full-on jealousy, that's all.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean,
Jealousy as far as what?
I mean,
the action?
I, too, am a Kyokushinkai black belt, and I don't have abs like that.
Hmm. What's your steroid cycle look like?
Ah, well played.
Oh, you
see,
have one?
It's the
Oh,
lack,
you don't have one? Oh, well,
Yeah.
that might be part of it.
Yeah, it's the lack thereof. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that dude's in his 50s.
Oh, yeah. He's
Yeah.
asking for a heart attack.
Yeah.
Fucking just jacked like him and The Rock.
You saw what happened to Triple H?
Oh,
Triple H just had a heart attack.
Too soon.
He's still here, but
Too
yeah,
soon.
that retirement.
Oh, yeah, it's over. Yeah, it's more of just a jealousy thing. The fact that this dude continued to get movie roles and couldn't act his way out of a fucking paper bag astounds me.
Dude, he never gets better. That's
Never.
the worst part.
Fucking
He is
never.
exactly as good as his first movie.
He is still playing Spawn.
He has the
He
same
is fun.
stupid SD voice and everything. And he doesn't even sound like that.
God, I get it, man. From the neck down, the dude is fucking yoked and chiseled and shit, dude. I get it, but fuck, man, take an acting class. Just one. Take one fucking class.
He's okay in The Dark Knight.
No, he wasn't.
Dude, do you know
He was
good?
horrible
Do you know
in
how
that.
good Black Dynamite would have been if he had any acting chops at all?
Oh,
Like it was still it was super fun, but like
it was.
I mean,
Come
on.
Eddie Griffin should have been Eddie Griffin's movie.
well, first of all, Eddie Griffin needs to be a feature. He needs to be the main character in anything he's in
Agreed.
all the time.
He just never gets better, and it frustrates me.
Mm-hmm.
His fight scenes, I enjoy them for the most part. All depending on who he's going up against. His fight scenes against like just random stuntmen are always just absolute shit.
Yeah.
It's just the
He
hate.
doesn't need a slowdown like Van Damme.
Hey
Oof.
now. Van Damme.
We're talking about an actual
Van Damme is a living legend, and their fight scene in Universal Soldier: The Return was a great fight scene, carried by Van Damme.
I don't know about that, but
Carried by Van Damme.
the acting part was
No, Van Damme can't act either.
shit, he can act better than damn what though. Look at Jay White.
Best actor in that movie was Goldberg.
Probably.
Man, Goldberg was funny.
Goldberg was amazing in that movie. And I will argue this with anybody. In terms of wrestling, Goldberg has one of the best spears in the game. One
Well,
of
yeah.
the best spears. The best spears
He was
goes
like-
to Rhino.
Wasn't he like the only one who actually did the spear?
No, sir. How dare you?
I mean, yeah. Didn't Hacksaw used to like tackle people? But like, come on.
Hacksaw had a shoulder bump.
Yeah.
Rhino
wait, say
had the
what?
world's greatest spear known to man.
He say Hacksaw who?
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Wow.
He had a shoulder bump.
UTBABYA.
UTBABYA is still young.
Hey, man. No. It's the.
He's still young. He doesn't know any better.
It's that I can't remember, and I'm so confused because of why did his character just carry a fucking 2x4 and the American flag into the ring?
Because he was mentally challenged.
That's right. You mentioned that. So this is your conspiracy theory, right? That he was like,
Oh, he was totally special. He had to be special needs. His character had to be special needs. That is the only reason why I can fathom why he would carry a 2x4 and aim it like a gun and go, oh!
Wait, what?
Had to be special needs. That character today would be immediately canceled.
I don't think so.
Get the fuck out of here. Yes, he would. You get a guy.
I don't think he would be canceled.
You're
I
insane.
think he would get passed.
For
He would
really
be held on the pedestal.
for walking to the ring
Yep.
with a 2x4, aiming it at the crowd, going oh,
Yep.
and waving the American flag.
All he has the day and age of social media. All he has to do is go see a couple of children, special needs.
You're high as fuck.
Go to a hospital. I'm telling you.
The moment he aimed that 2x4 at one ethnic child, it's over. It's fucking over. That shit would be on the news. It would be everywhere. Hacksaw Jim Duggan hates minorities. Oh, look at the way he just shot Raheem. Jamal. Hacksaw Jim Duggan hates the urbans. Yeah, he'd be canceled, bro. There's a lot of those wrestling characters that would be canceled. Junkyard Dog would be canceled. And I'm a JYD fan, but in this day and age, you're not carting a black dude to the ring with a dog collar on and a chain as he's barking.
Yeah.
Even Melvin Manhoff had to stop doing that shit for his kickboxing fight.
Which is unfortunate, because it was like, it's
Man,
Melvin.
Rampage was howling.
And he stopped.
Yeah.
He did it a few more times.
It wasn't the same. Mainly because he was fat as shit.
Hey, did you see Marcus Brimage?
We don't talk.
He's getting a bag.
We don't talk about him. We don't talk about him.
He redeemed himself. Matter of fact, he redeemed himself by using 52 blocks at bare knuckle.
I'm gonna need you to show me a clip of him using 52 hand blocks. I call bullshit.
Yeah,
on
please
that.
send that in the chat.
I call bullshit on that.
We talked about it already, right?
I need to see it.
Okay, this is what we gotta do. Okay, say no more.
This is one of those moments where I need to see 52 hand blocks in use. Real fucking.
And we're waiting.
Some shit out.
You can keep waiting because I'm gonna have to.
He just posted a Wing Chun video.
I know, right? Here's a Krav Maga video. Someone's getting kicked in the dick.
It's Dan Inosanto from like 1978.
Oh, Jesus.
So since we don't have a movie or a kraptactular movie review thing to do, let's go with the other topic that I actually did skip over because I'm a fucking idiot and can't read my own shit. The return of the segment. Shit's legit or legitimately shit. 52 hand blocks.
And if you study with my 8-week program, you will learn a system of self-defense that I developed over 2 seasons of fighting in the octagon. Now, for only $300 for my 8-week program.
Hey, what kind of belt do you have?
Canvas. You like? JC Penney 398. Okinawa built me no need rope, hold up pants.
What are your thoughts? Justice, I'll start with you.
I'm gonna say legit, man. Basically because there's an application for everything. I have used it, not in a street fight. I've consistently used it against lesser opponents in sparring, so there are places for it. But it has to be the systemized version, not the drunk prison guy who drinks a pint of liquor every day. It has to be the real. There's no knock. I mean, there's no knock on it, and I'm not gonna say anything about any names, but it can't be that karate style version. I ain't gonna say no names. That somebody was talking about earlier in the show. That karate style is cool, but again, sometimes you got to show and prove, and I'll say that.
Respect that. All right, UTBABYA. Shit's legit or legitimately shit.
I mean, I would like to see it in action before making my judgment about this, but I would imagine there's probably some value to it. Having not had to try to avoid a shiv myself, I'll assume that someone came up with a way to not get shivved that bad, and let's just say that was 52 hand blocks. So, yeah, I guess I'll have to assume it's legit.
Lobo, same question, sir.
I'm gonna say, based on some of the concepts and some things I've seen with blocks and parries, that it is fairly legit. There's some woo bullshit here and there in it, but for the most part, the stuff that people seem to actually use seems pretty effective.
Okay. I, for one, am going to join that bandwagon. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I started off initially looking at 52 hand blocks as, I'm just going to say it, donkey shit. I was convinced after doing what little bit of research that I did, it was all just going to be a bunch of hand flailing, Krav Maga, Wing Chun knockoff shit. But after looking over the articles of like Professor Mo and looking at the handful of fight scenes that I've seen, or even some of the training training segments that I've seen in regards to 52 hand blocks, I agree with Justice on that. I think that it definitely has a place. I think that it is usable, and I think that it could be applied well with something else. I would look at it more like a companion type martial art, something to accompany something else. Like maybe if you
to supplement your small circle jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if pulling on a person's earlobe and whispering in their ear isn't enough to keep them from clapping your cheeks, then maybe 52 hand blocks will cause enough of discouragement for the guards to get there to pull Mr. Pickles off of you.
Mr. Pickles.
And I had to put the fight scene in the chat from Lethal Weapon because Justice was taking far too long to show some 52 hand blocks.
Listen, I can't get into my account.
I'm saying I had to go with the fictional
shit. Videos.
I'm saying YouTube doesn't work for you?
It's not on YouTube. These are paid fights. I have paid subscriptions. I have downloaded content. I was ready for this.
Yo, if anyone ever questions the legitimacy of Justice's title as the connoisseur of combat sports, that statement puts it to bed.
No. See, I am looking at this fight
I
scene
got
now.
subscriptions and shit.
I like that. Justice, I'm looking at this fight scene now in Lethal Weapon, and you know what? I'm gonna change my verdict on what I said earlier on. It's not bad. I do see a lot of karate. I do see a good fair share of what looks like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, especially with that triangle choke. But there are some hand traps and blocks that he utilizes that I guess these could be classified as 52.
Wing Chun.
Yeah. No.
Especially when the cops all just stand around and watch somebody get beaten like cops do.
He wanted to go for the belt. That's what he said, right? Riggs said, "Oh, you want to go for the belt?"
He did say that.
Title. So that's what they let happen.
I'm just saying that a lot of this looks like street fighting. That's all I'm saying.
Man, this is the 80s. We could do that.
This is true. Because I know in the 80s, whenever it was time for me to fight, it always started raining.
Well, you hit a fire hydrant. It's actually not raining in that scene.
And of course, I had to take my shirt off, whenever the helicopters would fly over with the spotlight so they could see my abs and shit. And, you know what? You're right. I do see some 52. I see a lot of karate.
At minute 154, at the 154 mark, you saw him boom. I can't think what they call it.
I saw him boom.
But yeah, he took his hands in front, changed levels, went back up. That's a block. Ask me what that is. I ain't got that far in there. Ain't that far yet. Still on the first 10.
Saw a hip toss. Due to see him almost getting.
Listen, looking back on that like years ago, it's like, man, all you had to do, he could have just spit most of that out and just been like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah, like he actually would have been fine.
But
I did like he went
again,
for
it's the '80s.
he went for the armbar and he missed it, and so he's working for the triangle choke. I get it. And again, like you said, it's the '80s, and the fact that he pulled off that triangle choke with them tight ass jeans on is fucking amazing.
Name a movie in the '80s that was doing the same stuff.
Name another movie. Every '80s action movie
Was doing triangle chokes.
or some type of like martial art.
Now that was my first time when I seen when me and my uncles watched this movie. Like we didn't know what the hell was going on.
Now, no one recognized that triangle choke back in the day.
I didn't recognize it till it was 1998. By then it was too late.
I mean, I
didn't like how he humped him a couple of times afterwards. He locked it in, fall asleep, and he just kind of humped him like, yeah.
That's the 52 style right there.
I mean,
that's what you call the Brooklyn style. That's where you get their face right in your crotch and then you hump their face, establish your dominance. That's how they do it in the.
Who tried to log? Listen, I'm trying to figure out who tried to log into my account. Got me locked out.
I mean, you can just go ahead and accept the fact that there is no fight footage of 2 hand blocks being redeemed Marcus Brimage, and we can just call it a day. There's no shame in it.
I do have it. Man, that's crazy. I just had posted.
And for the first time in fried rice history, you failed us.
No, you're right, but I didn't.
You're right, but I didn't.
Yeah, I buried the lead.
Of Constellations, and then you got Mr. 52. Now these guys are fishing and 52 street fighting, I guess you want to call it. They are some more well-known guys. Some of the guys that you didn't really talk about, it didn't come up in your research. I got you. Got your back.
Maybe you'll redeem yourself. No, I'm just playing.
We at the gym and we be like, hey, part that coach who always whoop our ass every week. Yeah. Him.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know. Yeah, there was that one time because there was this one guy. He threw up a 52 hand block one time. He's like, "Oh, you gonna 52 hand block me?" And proceeded to beat his ass into the gearbox.
I remember that.
So it does work, people. It does work. Just don't do it to your coach.
Unless you're fighting somebody twice your size.
Don't do it to your coach. It's gonna piss him off. You ain't using no fairy tale shit on him.
And
that is an excellent segue. Well, gentlemen, that was all I had in regards to this episode. In regards to 52 hand blocks, as always, excellent fucking show. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for sharing your knowledge, your experiences. Thank you guys for sharing the laughs and so forth. And as always, we'll do it again next week. But for now, let's get the fuck out of here. Be sure to listen, like, share, and subscribe for all the latest episodes, news, and updates. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at fistfights.friedricepodcast or at h8l.muay thai. On Twitter, follow us at h8l_fight talk.